Okay, I'm going to make a start now. So welcome everyone. In this session, we're going to cover the basics of how to sell cloud computing services to your clients. The following guide reviews how to sell cloud computing services to your clients. We will explore some high-level concepts when offering cloud computing services as part of the netooze partner program. As your cloud's technology advisor and most importantly, technology educator, you'll be explaining the fundamentals of cloud computing to your clients, relating to cloud computing with analogies to your clients, identifying organizational benefits of cloud computing, and overcoming objections to cloud computing with your clients. You'll also be recommending services to your clients as well. Put it another way, approaching your clients from the position of a service provider and like a technology educator improves the possibility of convincing your clients about making a decision to take on cloud and basically purchase services. So I always say this, always become like the educational person, the person who knows all about cloud computing. That usually is a great way to approach selling services to clients. So I'm going to start with the basics, which is explaining the fundamentals of cloud computing to your clients. When our partners have questions about how to sell cloud computing services, taking a step back to review how they explain the concept of cloud computing services is a great starting point. Although the textbook definition of cloud computing has been repeated and there's many different terms out there, you need to deliver a distinct definition of cloud computing so that the average person can understand. And so what we've done is we've come up with a quick way of describing cloud computing that avoids all the terminology like scalability, because most people don't know what you're talking about when you mention that. So the definition we've come up with, and it will be shared after, is cloud computing is using the internet to deliver hardware and software services instead of keeping physical hardware and software at your office. Cloud computing providers deliver hardware and software over the internet. Cloud computing users access hardware and software over the internet. So that's our simple definition. So after scraping away all the technical terminology like scalability, security, licenses, etc., you're left with a statement above. While this is not an official definition, I'll make that clear, that meets the criteria laid out by some of these technology think tanks. It's an easy way to keep the conversation going and moving forward with your sales prospects. But by providing an explanation for cloud computing, cloud service providers and cloud computing users, you're giving your client a frame of reference for each of your roles when utilizing netooze cloud, which is very important. So moving on to 2, which is relating cloud computing with analogies. You notice that a lot of analogies are used when people are referring to cloud computing, and we recommend using analogies to our partners, that's you all, who have questions about how to sell cloud computing services. So using analogies will help prospective clients who have basic understanding of technology to better grasp the cloud, and it will be far easier for them than if you were to jump straight into a conversation with them, because they'll understand some of the fundamentals from the get-go. Since the fundamental concepts of cloud computing are not new, the roots of cloud computing go back to the basic architecture and operations of the internet. The analogies you can use relate to the cloud are unlikely to change in the near future. So here's a few examples of analogies you can use with your clients to help them quickly grasp the cloud, and we'll provide these in an email to you. Cloud computing is like giving your IT department thermostats so they can turn on, up, down, or off based on their needs. So they can, when they need extra processing power to cover a peak period, they can crank it up and they can turn it down when they're finished. So I'll repeat that. Cloud computing is like giving your IT department thermostats, like a thermostat on the radiator, They can turn it on, turn it up, or turn it down based on their needs. That covers the scalability bit. When they need extra processing power to cover peak period, they can crank it up and they can turn it down when they're finished. And another analogy is cloud computing is like plugging into a central power grid instead of generating your own power. Traditionally, IT departments and organizations have rooms full of IT equipment. That is done away with cloud computing because all of that is based remotely somewhere in a data center somewhere in the world. So they have none of that equipment in their organization, in their offices anymore. They're just logging on from a computer, and they can get as much processing, they can get as much power as they want. They can turn it up or turn it down. So it's scalable. Mentioned in Salesforce, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard of Salesforce.com, is a great example because decision makers often use Salesforce and are familiar with the benefits that come with external databases. Your prospect, your customer, has probably already spent plenty of time logging into Salesforce accounts from various locations on the internet and using the service without installing any software whatsoever because it's internet based. Ask your prospect to think of cloud software as an online service they can log into. Explaining cloud infrastructure hardware using analogies may seem a little bit more intimidating right now, but it doesn't have to be. Using the Salesforce.com example above also works for cloud hardware because every decision maker understands that there's a well-oiled, efficient machine behind every product and service you use. Ask your clients, customers to think of cloud hardware as the nuts and bolts that power their climate control. So that's basically relating to cloud computing with analogies. I'm going to move on to 3, which is identifying organizational benefits of cloud computing. So the list of cloud computing benefits can be extensive. There's quite a lot. However, there are several features that most organizations use when talking about cloud computing to customers, including the following: business agility, which basically means if your clients are interested in spending more of their time focused on their business strategy instead of their technology, you may find it extremely relevant to discuss the virtues of turning their technology headaches into your job as part of their managed service. So you become their technology advisor and provider. You take all that hassle away from them because all that will be based on the cloud now, and you'll be the first point of contact when they need to expand their services. Another benefit is reduced capital expenditure. Minimizing capital and operational expenses is essential for small to medium-sized businesses. When you offer cloud services to your clients, be sure to explain that they'll be moving from large upfront capital expenditures to small monthly payments. You see, traditionally, as I mentioned, IT teams, they'll have rooms full of computers, wires and all the rest of it, processors, as part of their IT expenditure. When they move to the cloud, they get rid of all of those rooms. They're essentially on the cloud. They only need to purchase as much as they need. And if they have too much, they can reduce the capacity of what they've purchased on a month-to-month basis. So it really does lower the costs, IT costs. Another benefit to be mentioned is scalability. If your clients have peak seasons or bring on seasonal employees, i.e. they're up in their workforce and down in it throughout the year, cloud computing is a great way for them to meet seasonal demands without purchasing hardware and software that would go unused during the slower times of the year. So instead of having all those computers laying about in the offices, why not just go cloud? Have everything based in the cloud, including remote desktops for their employees to log onto. And then when they reduce their staff, reduce the amount of licenses they need online, which reduces the budget, which reduces the costs, which makes clients happy. Another benefit is anywhere access. So one of the major benefits of cloud computing is having access to your computing resources, regardless of wherever you are in the world, basically. Your clients can access their cloud services as long as they have access to the internet. So basically all you need is a mobile phone and a laptop, if anything, because you can connect to your service wherever you are in the world. So that is a major benefit. And there's a lot of organizations that don't benefit from that, even in this present day. So as far as recommendations we make when our partners have questions about how to sell cloud computing services, the ones listed, the benefits that I've just mentioned are a no-brainer. They're the ones that should be mentioned. Business agility, reduced capital expenditures, scalability, and definitely anywhere access. Articulating these benefits in a way that is specific to your client, so you might have your own way of describing them, is a fantastic way to make your sales pitch more relevant for whatever client you're talking to. So I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to move on to overcoming objections of cloud computing. And this is just pure examples. You're free to adapt, to come up with your own ways of selling, etc. But this is just something that we've noted down to help those who are less familiar with basically selling services and going out there and acting as the expert in a particular area. So overcoming objections to cloud computing. Overcoming objections to cloud computing is key to providing guidance around how to sell cloud computing services. After delivering a well-rehearsed and polished presentation to clients regarding cloud computing benefits that relate specifically to your client, you're likely to need to address objections that your client comes up with. And so we've come up with some typical objections that most clients will ask you. One of them perhaps might be, objection: how do you know that the cloud is secure? How do you know it's secure? Does it meet regulatory requirements? Does it meet that? So what should be your response? This could be one of your responses. Because your client's data will reside at our flagship data center, i.e. in the US or EU, they can rest assured that they will benefit from SSAE 16 certification, previously SAS 70, which is basically data protection. So they're going to benefit from that. Their data's in a flagship data center. We have 4 based around the world, 1 in Amsterdam, one in the US, 2 in the EU, and 1 close to Russia. So basically all of them are like top data centers in the world right now, benefit from all the certification. So they're going to benefit from that straight away. So their information will be secure, and there's, to my knowledge, not been any serious breaches that I can mention. We've not had any breaches. So another objection that you might come across is, will my cloud services always be available? What happens if the cloud goes down? What happens? What happens to my data? Can I still access it? So a response could be, as a cloud services reseller, you can pass on netooze Cloud's 100% service level agreements to your clients. So we have a 99.9% service uptime service level agreement, which we offer every client. It's on our website. That basically means that if their services go down at a critical point in time, we're basically saying we're going to fork out some money and give back to the clients for that disruption, the disruption to their services. Basically, we're taking responsibility for that. So they can rest assured that we don't want to lose money. We don't want to be forking out money to them because something like that happens. So we're not going to allow that to happen, not if it's within our power. So that's something that we offer every client. We offer a 99.9 uptime service level agreement, which means we're pretty much guaranteeing that service is not going to go down. So that is a good response to that. Another objection might be, what kind of technical support is available? You know, what happens if I need support during the night? Are your team available? What happens? A response would be, we recommend reminding your clients that your organization offers 24/7 support. So that means even when we're sleeping, when you're sleeping, there is support available. That team is up 24 hours a day, and they're replaced by different staff members throughout the day and the night. So we have 24/7, 365 days support throughout the entire year to support each of your clients, that is designed to quickly resolve any issues that may come up. If a serious issue arises that requires assistance of the netooze team, you can always reach one of their technical support teams. Now, when you first log on to netooze.com and you log on as a customer or client, you sign up for an account, you've got access to the 24/7 support. If you drop a message, classify it as important, you get a response within a set time frame, and that it doesn't matter whether it's in the day or the night, it's 24/7. So those are some of our standard responses to kind of overcoming the objections to cloud computing. So I hope that was useful. So I'm just going to move on to recommending services, which is number 5, sorry. So recommending the right type of cloud service for each of your clients can help transition you from reading articles about how to sell cloud computing services to reading guides about the best practices for deploying the services you've sold to them. Based on your experience with your client organization, and it's very important when you're reaching out to client organizations to actually do a bit of research about them beforehand. I've found that I still sell directly, and one of the key things that I do is to research the organization. I even get to know people within that organization and kind of understand the issues that they're going through. So before I start saying, I want to know if they're going through IT issues. I want to know if their present situation isn't ideal. So when I go in, I'm prepared to offer something that is more like a solution to their problems, rather than me just saying, do you want this, do you want that? Get to find out a bit about the organization. What are their needs? Listen to them first, let them speak, understand where they are and what they need, and then offer the solution. Because if you do it beforehand, they probably won't want to hear, or they probably think that you're just trying to cram something in front of them, trying to force a sell. And it's not about forcing a sell, it's about filling the need, it's about providing a solution, it's about helping people. That's what we're about helping organizations and people become better. So here's a brief breakdown of the 3 major areas of our organization that you can pitch for. Number 1, servers, and it's provided on the netooze business presentation. So I really encourage you to look at that presentation and go through that. We offer servers, 2 types, vStack, which is the first of its kind in the world. We're basically a sponsor. We are an advocate, an agent for vStack. It provides a lot of processing power. It's just as good as the other services offered by others like Amazon and other organizations, but it's cheaper the way we've set it up. So we offer vStack, and we also offer VMware, which is another type of server, although the pricing of that is slightly more expensive. It's still very much in demand, and so we thought we'll set our services up with 2 of those. So a bit more about vStack servers, where VMware requires significant resources for infrastructure maintenance. So that costs us a lot more money to maintain VMware servers. vStack virtualization platform has been ideal for us because it saved on software and hardware and simplified infrastructure management through a hyper-convergent approach and faster online scaling and recovery. In basic words, it's a unified structure, which is software laid on a data center, where we offer our vStack as storage, network, and management. So those are the 3 different areas. So storage, which is unlimited. If you buy storage from us, it's unlimited. You can order as much as you want. Servers, that's unlimited too, but we also offer networking solutions, so you can network those particular servers all together, creating one huge network of servers. And we offer management as well. This is a key one, because we offer almost like a project management approach, where they can, when they log onto the netooze platform, they can section off their project, their servers by projects. They can create set projects. They can invite team members to those projects, and they can basically work on those projects with different people around the world. So we offer those different unique services. Of course, some of the other things we offer is networking, as I've mentioned, databases. So I'm not too sure how familiar any of you are with databases, but MySQL, and all the other standard databases, it's all detailed with our presentation, which you can look at. If you haven't received the link already, I'll send it to you after this meeting. So wrapping things up, So if you made it this far, chances are you're pretty serious about selling cloud computing services to your clients. But not every client will work with and embrace cloud. But if you take some time to hone your sales pitch, you have a better chance of aligning your prospective clients' needs with the cloud services you offer as part of the netooze partner program. So we hope this guide was useful. And yeah, we hope it was helpful. And yeah, that's it for this guide.